everyone, it's April and today we are doing a Dollar Tree fall floral DIY. I'm using a rectangle sign that I picked up over the 4th of July, these cute little mason jar cutouts that come with several in the pack, and some sunflowers. You can use any rectangle sign that you can find at the Dollar Tree. It really doesn't matter. This is actually a collaboration video hosted by Heidi Samboul, and she has many different kinds of videos on her channel: DIYs, weight loss motivation, cleaning motivation, and family vlogs. Also co-hosted by Maria from Artsy Cupcake, and I love her channel too. She does fashion lookbooks, home DIYs, recipe videos, all kinds of fun videos, and I really enjoy both of their channels, so please check them out. I will have a link to everything in my description. So the first thing that we're going to do is just paint our sign with this raw sienna and by Folk Art. And then I added a little bit of antique white. I just wanted it to have a little bit of texture. I thought that painting it to look a little bit more textured would make a prettier background for our little mason jar that we're going to add. So as you can see here, I just kind of lightly brushed over it just to add the texture, and I really like the way it turned out. Then we're just going to set that aside to dry. How are you guys doing today? It is Thursday here, Thursday morning, the day I'm going to hopefully get this video uploaded, and I am just sitting here drinking my coffee, trying to get this done. So anyway, we are going to take out one of the little mason jar cutouts, cut off the tip of the straw because we don't need that part, and then we're going to just paint it white. Of course, I am using my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white, my favorite, and that container, I can't think of the size, but it lasts me forever. So you just paint it white, and you want to make sure that you don't let it dry completely. It needs to be a little bit pliable, or it's just easier to work with if it's a little bit pliable. So I just cut out the outline because we only need the outline, and the first time I laid it down, I thought it was a little bit too big because I wanted to have more room on top for the flowers. So I decided to just cut out another outline, made it a little bit smaller, and that was the perfect size. And when I say that it needs to be not dried all the way, I mean it needs to be dry to the touch but still pliable. I think you guys know what I mean. So then we just lay it out. I just kind of wanted to make sure that it was the perfect size, which I was happy with that. And then I just cut off a little piece on the top to create the little detail that I added to the jar. So I just cut off two little pieces and glued those down, and then also the little piece on the side just gives it a little bit of dimension. And I saw this on Pinterest. I saw several different versions and I thought they were so cute. I saw one where they added lights to it, and Dollar Tree does carry little lights, which I just found out recently. I saw my girl Marta over from Cuban Curls. I saw her recent video with her cute little pumpkins, and she used some Dollar Tree lights. I had no idea that they carried those. Maybe my store doesn't, and that's why. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely gonna check and see if they do. So really easy here. I just cut out the little pieces, kind of laid them out to make sure that I was happy with how I had them arranged. I'm using hot glue just for the purpose of this video. I don't know that I would recommend using hot glue. I think that Mod Podge or something like that would be better because hot glue does add bulk, and at first I was like, oh, this works fine, you know, it worked fine, but once the paper dried completely, it just kind of didn't lay as flat. You guys know what I'm saying though, it just wasn't as smooth as when I first glued it down. So for some reason I ended up not gluing it perfectly centered, as you can see here, so it was kind of off to one side, so it ended up causing me to have a little bit of extra, so I had to trim that off, no big deal, and just glued everything down. And that's all I did right here, was just hot glue everything down. And this is just such a simple little DIY, but I think it's so cute. And there's so many different ways that you could do it. You could, like I said, add the lights. If you look it up on Pinterest, you'll see the different versions that I'm talking about. You could add different flowers. I think that the sunflowers really stand out. Plus, I love sunflowers. I've done a couple of videos already with sunflowers. Daisies are actually my favorite flower, but sunflowers are my second. And at the end of this video, I actually included a little tiny clip of my son and I going to the beach again. This is now a couple weekends ago, and he went crawdad hunting, and we stopped along the side of the road on the way, and I just walked down and picked some wild sunflowers that were growing. They were so pretty. I've been taking him to the beach with me since he was a little baby, and he just turned 22 on the 6th, and I'm so happy that he still hangs out with mom and goes to the beach with me. That's been our favorite thing to do together since he was a little tiny baby. So anyway, I'm sorry I made this clip so long. I don't know why I didn't speed that up, but isn't that beautiful? I love the way it turned out. Next, I'm just going to cut the sunflowers, and I just kind of eyeballed where I wanted to place them, trimmed off the extra bottom part and cut them down to how I wanted them, and then kind of held them onto the sign to figure out exactly how I wanted them to lay. And then I tried my best to make the flower, the bloom, lay flat. What I did was I just bent it as best as I could and hot glued it. I don't know why I didn't just trim off the bloom and then hot glue it back down flat. That would have been much easier than the way that I did it, but either way works fine. So like I said, I just hot glued it and smashed it down and held it, burned my fingers, and then glued it onto the sign. I also forgot to mention real quick, you guys, that I did also use some of Dollar Tree's wooden craft beads. You can get a pack of them for $1. Oh, look how pretty. I think it looks so pretty once we add the flowers. And anyway, I used those beads I added them to the string, to the hanging part, just to add some extra detail. Here I am just cutting off another little piece and adding it on top of the little ring detail, the ring of the jar, or the mouth of the jar, not the ring of the jar, because you want the flowers to look like they're sitting inside of the jar. So really you could have just waited until after you put the flowers on and then added those pieces. You didn't need to do both. I just forgot. So I just hot glued everything down, and look how pretty. I just think that is so simple but so pretty. I love it. So next, here's my beads. I had actually just rolled those around in some paint. They come originally in all different bright colors, so I just rolled them around. That's a burner cover from Dollar Tree, and I let those dry, and then I untied the strings from the hanging part of the sign and just strung them on. Really super simple. I also added a little dab of hot glue to the tip of each string. It just makes it much easier to thread through the whole of the beads. And then I did paint my beads white, but you can paint them whatever color you love. Anyway, this turned out so pretty. It's so simple and so beautiful. Don't forget to check out Artsy Cupcake and Heidi Sambul and everyone else that joined. These videos are so fun to do when everyone in the community gets involved. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!